Good morning, everybody. Isn't the new collection absolutely amazing? I'm just going to finish getting things set up here. Make sure that we're nice and straight. No angles. Here we go. Let's get that up. Check that. Let's just wiggle this about a bit. Is that any better? Let's have a little look. And I can actually show you the cards now that I made to go with it. There we go, that'll be fine. So, can everybody hear me okay? Hope so. Got the volume right up. Yep, there we go. Wait, a few more people to join us. I have to say, when I first saw this new collection, Julie's Floors and Foliage, I did say that I thought it was her best yet. I have absolutely loved using it. Thank you, Jill. Okay. It is stunning. Hi, Andreen. Chair sorted. So I thought, what better opportunity than to do a little bit more ink blending and to use the new collection as well. Morning, Pat. Morning, Belinda. Morning, Leslie. So as I said, I can now show you the hi Samantha, hi Philip, hi Pam. I can now show you the cards that I got prepared because I couldn't use them until after the launch this morning. So there's some very subtle stamping on some lovely blending, nice fresh modern cards. I thought, hi Yvonne. Why not, Yvonne? I don't blame you. Keeping it very simple, just the black and the white, so that the colours really shine. And as you can probably see, it's actually onto craft card. Let me pop this up so you can see that a bit better. There we go. And I'd never actually ink blended onto craft before, and it's amazing what a difference it makes. But what we will do is I'm also going to do some blending onto Ordinary White Super Smooth, and I'm going to use brushes and foam sponges as well, just so we can see the difference. So this is the card we'll be making, and then we'll be doing some other bits and bobs along the way. I'll run through what we're using, and I'll also put a PDF on the group as well. Morning, Gail. Okay, so let's have a look. We'll be using the new collection, which I've been tidying the craft room and clearing my desk, and I've actually caught up with all my my stamp storage. So I've got this little book here. There we go. Everything in here neat and tidy, all together, so I know exactly what I'm using and where it is. And this I absolutely love this set. Love it. It makes a difference on the craft, doesn't it? It really does. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Okay, so we'll be using that one, and I've got the Happy from the Happy and More stamp set, so let's rescue that now. White heat emboss that one, and I made the banners on the card with banner die as well, banner sentiments. Oh, you're all going to love it. There we go. And towards the end, I'm also going to show you the kiss stamping. I know Michelle was asking. It's a technique I probably saw a couple of years ago, but I know it's been around for years and years. So, so for those that haven't seen it before, we'll give that a little go as well. So if we get started with what we're doing today, I'm going to use the pinks. The bit of card I've already got prepped is in blue, just to make a difference. So that was the one I prepped because it needs to be completely dry, because we're going to do some heat embossing on it as well. I'm just going to check in with Brian because he's mumbling.
I don't know what. How do I get to the picture and the comments at the same time?
Are you full screen?
Yeah.
There we go. So, to start blending, I've cut a piece of the craft card to 14 by 14. And I've got my lovely new brushes that I got from Hazel. Hi Lynn! And I always have a soft cloth to hand as well, just to, if I've been doing other as well, because I've just got the one brush per colour, just to remove any of the ink. And then we're going to go in with the darkest first, which in this case is Picked Raspberry. Pick that up. Get a good amount onto the brush. That's really important when you're blending. You want it nicely loaded with all that lovely colour. Here we go. That's it. There we go. And then I worked it out. If you line it up on your grid, you can see that you want about 3 centimeters worth of colour. So just coming in very gently from the top. Start gently and then build up the pressure, going clockwise and anti-clockwise.
Morning, sir.
Get some more ink on here. Julie, the collection is amazing. It's not really surprising that you got so many amazing comments. I said it was your best, or one of your best. There we go. Just keep blending clockwise, anti-clockwise, up and down, getting a good layer of ink on there. Like I said, approximately 3 centimeters for this one. You're welcome. And you will notice actually that the craft card soaks it up a little bit more than the others do. So I'm just going to remove some of this from the brush again. It doesn't really matter because we're blending anyway. But it's quite a good habit to get into for, unless you've got room for a different brush for every single colour. Then you just get into the habit of cleaning it through. There we go. So the next colour I'm using is Kitsch Flamingo. Is there any other sort? I don't know. Load this up again. Make sure we've got a good amount on here. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So come in about here. Another 3 centimeters worth. hopefully you can see that colour coming through.
Jax is having a problem. Video not starting on her phone.
Oh, that's no good. This way. Coming from this side, 3 centimetres. Okay, so just keep going and going. Facebook can be a law unto itself sometimes, I think.
Oh yeah. Even Julie Hickey knows that about Facebook, don't you, Julie?
It'll let you do something one day and not the next. So we're going to start bringing this up towards the top colour, blending into it. You're always going to see a join. It's just making that join less seamless and more of a blend, an ombre.
That's looking good.
Some more in across here. You don't have to pick the same colour group, you could have a different colour. I think that's fine with that one. Give this a wipe again, because the next colour we'll be using is Sponge Sugar, and that's a light colour. This is quite old, this ink pad as well, so it's amazing how long they last actually. So before we do any stamping on this, we'll try on the white card as well, and with the different applicators. Morning, Anne. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we'll come in about here. The pink almost looks white on the craft. Hi, Joe. Nice lot of ink. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bring this across, just nice and gentle at first, particularly along this edge, because this is the one we're just going to blend into the craft. And you can go a little bit firmer as you blend into the second colour. It's quite therapeutic, this, it's quite repetitive.
What colours are you using, Mugga?
The top one is Pick Raspberry, the second one is Kitsch Flamingo, and the one I'm using at the moment is Sponge Sugar. I'm not getting all the comments on here, I don't know why.
I don't know what's going on.
Bring this up, blend that in, and all the way to the top. And then we're going to move this around and bring this down. No more ink, just use what we've already got. Bring this down into the craft. Nice and gentle. Just so it gently peters out. That's it. And if I bring this up, give you a more detailed view. There we go. I do love ink blending. It's one of my favourite things to do, especially with the oxides. They make life so much easier. Okay, so we'll give this. It does, doesn't it, Anne? Like I said, I was really surprised. And I've no idea why I hadn't thought of doing it before. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a wipe before we do the other bits. Easier to see as well, isn't it? Okay, so I've got some white card prepared as well. We'll do the same. Over. Exactly the same thing with the brush. Add a bit of a wipe again. Thank you, Julie. Nice to see what the difference is. I haven't actually tried this yet, but thought we could have a look and see what the differences are. Okay. It will stand out more, won't it? So some more ink. Yeah, that can be tricky. You just need to be patient with it more than anything, I think, with blending. If you start off gentle, then work your way up. Start with the same colour, I would say, and try different tones, different shades. Just take your time. You can't really rush it. Have some offcuts of card maybe, and have an afternoon or a morning or whenever's convenient, and have a go. It doesn't take long to fill up the card. Okay, so that's going to be the brush one. It is definitely slowly build it up and lots of ink, and we're going to use the sponges at the same time to see what difference this makes as well. So I have to say, I've only just started using the brushes. I've always been a blending tool girl. Just going to find out. As I say, I've just literally just started using the brushes, and I have to admit I am hooked. So we're going to have a little experiment and see what happens. I would imagine it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It will be stronger with the sponge tool. I think if I bring these in already, you can see. If you want quick coverage, go with a sponge. We can have a look at this one already, look. As you can see, you've got more of a defined edge with the sponge. And it's much more muted with the brushes. So depending on what look you want, as I say, if you're covering a large area for a background, or you're going to make a coordinating piece of card, put a sentiment or something, that's fine. Yes, just go with it, definitely. But since I got the brushes a little while ago, about a month ago, I haven't been using the sponges at all. we'll see what happens. This is the spongy one again. Sorry if you can hear the desk, it's making a wobbly noise with all the blending. Also, particularly with the sponges, you can, if you go in a bit heavy, get that circular mark, which can be quite annoying. Come up again, try blending that through. Okay, so that's that one. Now we'll try the brush. Give this a little wipe. Get this loaded up with ink. Okay, go back to the brush one, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm always talking to myself when I'm crafting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm either talking to myself or humming, one or the other.
Yeah.
Mess up.
I think it's about not being scared of using your ink pad.
Yeah, definitely. Don't skimp on the ink.
No.
There we go. There's a new catchphrase. Don't skimp on the ink. Most of you know that I love creating backgrounds anyway, so being able to create colour quickly and easily for whatever else you're going to add to it makes life so much easier. You can literally create your own paper pads. Still. And another top tip, don't put your fingers in the ink on the card.
No.
Because you will leave lovely little fingerprints. So if I was to say cover the whole of this piece of card and I needed to hold it down with one hand, I would have a separate piece of paper to put here so that I wasn't getting fingerprints all over it.
What card are you using, Phillipa?
This is Pink Frog Super Smooth.
Yeah. There you go, Anne.
Okay, I don't know why I'm not getting all the comments up on here. It's really
No,
annoying.
My stupid phone.
That's it. Again, load this up.
I keep on getting a green screen coming up.
Get some pressure in there as well as you go round, because that's releasing the pigments and the oxides. Okay. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See how we go with this. There's obviously something knocking up against the desk, but I've no idea what. It doesn't normally. sometimes trying to see what it is, but I can't. I think it's the actual desk up against the unit. I think there's much we can do about that. Okay, blend this right up again, just like we did on the craft. And then just blend down until we've lost the ink. As smooth as possible. So this is the on the white with the brush.
Beautiful.
You can see.
Beautiful job, Michael.
There we go. Completely different to the craft card. There we go. Completely different. And we'll finish off with the sponge as well, just to see. It's nicely loaded again. I hope everybody. Dark to light, yes, because it's easier to cover the dark, if that makes sense, than it is the light. If you go over the other way, you can sometimes lose the light completely. I do exactly the same when I'm colouring in as well.
And you get a harsh line, don't you?
You can do, yeah, yeah. And blend this down. Till it disappears into the white. There we go. So let's see what's happened. That's the sponge. That's the brush. I think the brush is definitely smoother, if you like. More of an ombre, more of an actual blend. There we go. That's the differences. It's always interesting to see. I can use those for something else now. Put them to one side. Let's have a bit of a tidy. But yeah, definitely the brushes, you get a smoother finish. Play with those, see what you're more comfortable with. Also, what's going to be, you know, comfortable working wise as well. Okay. Let's bring the craft one back in. And what stamp shall we use? Let's have a look. Let's move these out of the way so I don't get them all over the place. I know sometimes I'm getting arthritis in my hands and fingers, and particularly my elbow at the moment for some reason, and some things are just more easy to use than others. Now, as you can see with this one, we've got way too much card than we need for stamping on for the end purpose, because this is what we're going to end up with. but it makes it easier, particularly if you're doing more than one tone of ink. You've got more room to keep it in position so that nothing moves. So let's pick a stamp from the new collection. What can we use here? We could go with the same, or we could go with Foliage Galore. So we go Elegant Florals, this one, like we did with the blue, or Foliage Galore. Does anybody have a preference?
Foliage Galore.
Foliage Galore. Is that good with everybody? Peel this back. Nice big stamp. Love big stamps. Okay, so I'm going to do it upside down because we don't want a harsh edge at the bottom. We want it to almost be floating and falling into there. There we go. So we've got room to keep that down there. Bring that down. Got that in the middle. Going to pick this up. Oh, lovely shell. Pick that up. Okay, so with the pink, I'm going to be using Versifying Claire in Charming Pink. I've only got the one pink at the moment, but that is not a problem because we can get different tones with it by doing second generation first and then adding in some darker on top. You could use oxides as well, but they do tend to disappear off a little bit. So I've got a piece of paper just to pick up the first stamping. Give it a good ink up.
If this doesn't work, it's Tom's fault.
Is it? Why's that then?
Because I'm not taking the blame.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're just gonna pick that up. Take some of this away so we can get a first generation stamp all over. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? We're going to go in and get a light first stamp. Now again, we're going onto craft card, which is more porous. So we need to apply some pressure evenly all over. Just give it time to soak in. That's it. Time to soak in. Also, you can, if you're careful, just apply pressure in the middle, lift the edge of the platform up. There we go. Okay, and as hopefully you can see, we have a very, very faint impression there, which is cool. So we're going to go back in. We're just going to tap in different areas, a bit more up here. You can line where your ink pad is with the top of the card on the other side. And just come down like it's cascading almost. And come back in. Bring this over. Again, apply the pressure. I know sometimes with larger stamps it's difficult to get it all across in one. Again, just be patient. Make sure you've got no air bubbles underneath, because that's a pain. Give it a good ink up. Pressure all over. Take your time. Let it sink in. That's it. Just hold that there a moment. There we go. Nice cascading floral. Take that away. So it's disappearing into the to the bottom of the card, just like the ink is disappearing in the background. There we go. That's that done. As I say, leave this to dry completely. Avoid using heat if possible, because it does affect the oxide and it makes your card go a little bit wobbly and that. You can pop it under something heavy, but it isn't quite the same. Get the stamper nice clean. It's nice and new. And you never know when you might want to do some clear embossing with it, and that's annoying if you go to use a stamp and it's mucky. There we go. So I've got my trusty crusty cloth. There we go. Put that to one side. And then we are going to ink up our banners. So I've already cut some. Falling out. What I like to do is to keep them in here. And you've got something for your magnets to hold on to. Put that to one side. Okay, so let's pick some sentiments out. So we're going to have the happy. I think we'll use them from the Inspired by Linda B. We'll have, just to say, happy birthday. Might have to come out and go in again. It's fine on the phone. I'm watching here. Okay. So I'm going to put this one down in the middle. It's tricky. And we only want the birthday because we're going to do the big white birthday on the card. So we're going to move this into here. There we go. Pick them up. I can pop another magnet down. Ooh, that's not so good. Pop these down here. Get back in there, you. Pinch a bit of tape, so to cover up the happy, so because we don't want that to be inked at all, I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape over it. Got my Wow embossing pad. Give them a nice ink up. There's so much interference with with things. slightest little thing can interrupt. It's so annoying when you're watching something. I'm just going to gently press down on these. Got a birthday just to say. Obviously you can pick what sentiments you'd like. Pick that up. Okay, take these out. We're going to emboss these straight away. Move that to one side. I've got a bit of paper folded already to use to collect the powder up. Put these out. There we go. Save that one for something else. Get some powder on here. Now I've got tweezers. Pick these up as best we can. A gentle tap. So we've got our birthday. If you get any stray bits of white, a little tiny paintbrush usually does the job. Comes in handy. Pop the lid on there so I don't spill any of it. I've often found actually when watching lives that it's better on a phone than a laptop, which is weird. Let this heat up a bit. Sorry if it's noisy. Going from underneath so we don't get rid of any powder. There we go. Turn that around. Magic. Always magic. And yeah, I've just got the polished silver and gold from Wow, and they are gorgeous. So this one's done. We'll let those cool off before we do anything else. So let's chop the bit of card down that I've already got prepped. So we're going to trim this to 9 by 14. So we only need to do the sides really. Bring this over. You can see where the edge is more or less there. Take that down, and turn it, bring it to 9. So, okay. Put that out of the way. And then you've also got some nice strips as well that you could do something with. I won't be chucking those, although I probably should. There we go. So we've got the nice piece of card there now. There we go. And then to line up the sentiment, get an idea of where we want it to be. Hold this down. So we know basically it's going to go roughly in the middle of the craft section at the bottom. If you want to, you can just bring in the banners just to get an idea. You don't want to put these on first, because where we glue them on, we're going to get embossing powder stuck to them. So that bit there. So we can bring this up just slightly. Make sure we're straight and in the middle. That looks fine. Bring this down. There we go. Move my tweezers out of the way. Don't know where I'd be without my tweezers. Get the embossing pad again. A good squish. Move this over. A nice press down. This is really going to soak into the craft. So what I'm going to do, you can see when you bring it up actually that it's mottled. So we're going to go in again. Nice amount of ink on there. I re-inked this last night, so that'll be bursting with lovely embossing ink. I'm probably too slow at crafting, Donna, to be honest. It takes me ages to do things. But it is all about enjoying it. Okay. Let's get the powder on. Lovely. Put those pieces off. There we go. The white really does make a difference. You could use if you've got any of the die cuts as well for sentiments, use those as well in white card. That would look lovely. No, not everybody's into heat embossing. It does amaze me. Julie and Hazel are so quick. I wish I could do that. Let's heat up the thing you see so you can see. Put underneath again so we don't blow the powder away. That to start. There we go. As soon as you start to see it go, move on. White on craft is always a lovely combination. A little blast from the top, just in case we missed any. That's it. Just give this a bit of a bend back into shape. It's a natural material. It's a bit like I did hairdressing for a while. It's a bit like you when you heat hair and wet hair. It's malleable whilst it's still wet and still got the heat, so you can move your card about in the same way. That's it. That's all good. Let's move that. Okay, so we've got all our bits. Now I've got quite a large card because I wanted a nice white border all the way around. So this is from an A3 piece of card. I I've done it so that it's going to be a tent fold, because I'm quite into tent folds at the moment. So just check the measurements of this bit of card. So this is 37 by 13.5. If you wanted it to be an ordinary book fold card, the measurement would be 18.5 by 27. And so I'm just going to find the middle, so that's 18.5. There we go. Scroll down a couple of times. So the mountain is inside. The mountain fold. Move this up into here. So make everything nice and straight. Huge scoreboard out the way. Oh. Thank you, Shell. So we've now got our card blank. And I've got a piece of black card somewhere. There we go. So this is slightly larger than the card. So this is 9.5 by 14.5. So I'm going to get a bit of glue on here. And as you've noticed, I nearly always mat and layer with black. It's a habit I've gotten into now. Glue. It's quite classy, I think. I'm just going to go in by eye. You could measure up if you want to. Make sure everything's perfect. There we go. That's good. Give that a little firm down until the glue has taken. Give this a burnish as well, so we're all nice and sealed and flat. Move that to one side, and then we're going to add our banners. So I've got them coming off of the page, so we need to put these on first, then we can cut them. I wouldn't bet on it, Pam. Little bit of glue. Got it on the wrong end. Always doing that. Line this up on here. To the edge. Put this down. I think my head's in the way. No, that's good. Make sure we're straight. Yep. Flatten that down.
People can be slow.
Pop the bottom one on. Sometimes I can take all day just to make a card. Bring this in again, same distance, bring the word right up to the edge. Put that in. Go away. Give it a rub down from the back. Now we can snip these pieces away. Bring the card back in. You could 3D those as well if you wanted to, give it some interest. Depends if they're going in the post or not, I suppose. It seems that things with foam pads and 3D and that now are going to cost you extra. Okay. I'll pop down in the middle, hold that flat, and then I'll use another bit of copy paper just to go over the top to make sure we're nicely adhered. You could add some glosses if you wanted to finish. Okay. If you do it with that over the top as well, it just helps to get rid of any gluey bits. So that's the card finished. I shall do something with those other bits as well. I'm going to have a giveaway soon because I'm collecting up so many bits of card. It's unbelievable. So many different projects and cards and things we've made in the lives and things from my Wednesday posts. So we've got that one. We've got that one. Got the original pink, and I used the U. And this one I did slightly different by putting it at the top. Okay, so it's just a lovely technique to try, especially on the craft. It's something different. The orange one I used spiced marmalade, ripe persimmon, and the darkest one was crackling campfire. There we go, if anybody wants to know. I'm just quickly going to show a little bit of the kiss stamping technique. Stamp up the way.
So make sure she does throw some cards your way, okay?
No, I won't be throwing it. I won't be throwing any cards or anything away.
No, I'm saying pull some cards Shell's way.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll be using the Inspired by Linda set. I'll show you with the heart again. That's lovely. So you position it where you're going to want it on your piece of card. Let's pick that up. You can go in with black ink or a coloured ink. I tried it with oxides first and it didn't really work all that well. So I would go with the VersaFine Claire, a pigment ink if you can. I've got some colours here. Hi Joe!
Oh, it's Joe!
And then we're going to pick one of the stamps. Let's have a look what would be pretty. Let's go with this one. And you just need to pop it on a separate little block. I've got another one here. So pop that down ready. There we go. Okay, let's use pink. Get a good covering of ink on the stamp. Nice lot of ink. We're going to hover over the top first, pop the stamp down into that stamp, lift away. As you can see, it's taken some of that ink already. Go in. Stamp down just like we normally would. This is why block stamps are so useful, and if you've got like silhouette stamps and that as well, would look fantastic doing this. Just let that sink in. So we've got a good block of colour there. Give that a minute. There we go. I need something different, something textural and patterned without adding too much. There's no extra powders or anything. It's just very simple. As I said, it's quite an old technique. Thank you, Joe. So that is basically kiss stamping. I'll try and see if we can work a bit more in for a fortnight's time, because these stamps are brilliant for this. I'll think of another project to do. So that's that for today, for this Technique Tuesday 5. To say for the next one, we'll have a bit of a draw, I think, to send some goodies out. We'll have missed the Easter post and everything by then, so that'll be good. So I hope you all enjoyed it. No, I have, and thank you for all your support for Julie and the new collection. It really is absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Donna. Yes, they are like little mini gel plates. That's exactly it. Definitely. So have fun with your goodies when they arrive. Can't wait to see what everyone makes with the new collection. Take a look on Pinterest as well for some bits and bobs and all the team's work, because everyone's worked so hard. I will be putting on some bits as well later. And I will see you all in a fortnight. And of course we'll have little chats in between as well. If anybody wants to know anything at all, just let me know, send me a message, and I'll see what I can do. So take care everyone. See you soon.